はい、こんにちは、こんばんは。2023年5月3日水曜日、20時半スタートでございます。昨日に引き続き、スタンリーパラブル、デラックスエディション改め、スタンリーパラブル2、遊んでいきたいと思います。こんばんはいらっしゃい。また、時刻を入力してください。あれ、昨日起動した時も入力したんだけどな。34分ぐらい ?AM じゃない、PM だな。よいしょ。え待って待って。始める前にちょっと一言いいですか？ゲームを起動した時に2回ともちゃんと時計を設定してくれてありがとうございます。ほとんどの人はこのステップを真剣に捉えないんです。彼らはただ12時のままにして切り上げてしまうのです。でもあなたは実際に時間を合わせてくれましたし、私はそれに感謝しているんです。それってあなたがこの体験を大切にして、ちゃんと注意を払っているっていうことだと思うんです。あなたが合わせた時間が正しいかどうか知る術はないですけどね。そうだ、こうしましょう。あなたは協力的ですし、どうせだったら次にこのゲームを起動して、この画面が表示されたら、あなたの一番好きな時間を設定してください。どうぞセットしたい時間を好きに選んで、正しい時間でなくても構いませんよ。あなたがちゃんと協力してくれたからですよ。よし、じゃあそろそろゲームに戻りましょうか。え何今の？もう一回起動してみる？うん、2でした。セーブデータ消えてんのかと思って不安になったけど。またか。ああ、8時36分。あなたのお気に入りの時刻。もしくはただ単に、もう一度正しい時間を入力せずにはいられなかったのでしょうか。結局あなたが正しい時間に設定するのをどんなに楽しんでいるか、私は知ってますからね。さあ、ここで私が知りたいのは8時36分がどれほど正確なのかということです。他のスライダーで調べてみましょう。何これ？8時36分はどれぐらい正確ですか？正確ですとも。机の上に時計もありますし。まあ時計が正確かどうかに関係なく、この設定を調整するのは素晴らしいひとときなんです。あなたがどのような設定が好みなのか、あなたのことをもっとよく知ることができた気がします。データを集めるのはいいことです。もっといっぱいスライダーがあればいいのに。でももう持ってるスライダーは全部出し切ってしまいました。もしかしたら、あなたの新しいデータをかき集めるために、いくつか新しいスライダーを作れるかもしれませんね。難しく考えなくていいんですよ。いえい。ささっと新しいのを作りましょう。あなたが次にこのゲームを起動するときには、準備できてるはずです。もう一回か。のっけからニヤニヤが止まりません。ゲーム始めらんない。始まってんのかも。パソコン、あ、これも最初に起動した時やったな。パソコンがギリギリ見えるくらいまでスライダーを調節してください。 この犬と猫が友達になるようにスライダーを調節してください。あ、近づいた。友達？ああ、すごい友達になった。じゃあこれで、5が9になるまでスライダーを調節してください。あ、9あったよね、今ね。あなたがスライダーの調節を止めるまでスライダーを調節してください。もうスライドし放題。スライドし放題だ、これ。うわ、嬉しいな。じゃあ、こうかな。この2つの造語のどちらかがあなたにとって魅力的ですか？造語なんだ。オッキュボインカール。スクラムトゥッシュ。スクラムトゥッシュの方がなんかかっこいいな。スライダーを調節しないでください。わかりました。今何時かわかりますか？はい。その現在時刻は正しい時間ですか？はい。そもそも時間って何なんでしょうか？何なんでしょう。あなた自身のことで私にまだ言ってないことがありますか？いっぱいあります。助けて。はい。また私を訪ねてきてくれますか？はい。終わった。これもう一回やった方がいいかな。こんばんはいらっしゃい。前回のアーカイブをかいつまんで見てきました。ゲーム側がこちらに気づいているゲームは本当に好き。メタ要素あふれるアドベンチャーゲームですよね。何時？友達？君友達だったっけ？誰か本当に完全に知ってる人はいますか？もちろんそんな人はいません。誰も何も知らないんです。あなたと私はお互いを知ってさえいません。まるで他人のようなものです。もちろんこのゲームの設定はあなたの仕様に調整しています。でも誰もがそうではありません。私はただ、私がやっていることで仕事のようなもんです。そして今仕事は終わりました。そしてもう集める情報はありません。私ができる範囲でのあなたの情報はすべて集めました。そしてまだ私はあなたのことを本当には知らない。あなたも私を知らない。そして私たちは共に何時なのか知らない。設定できないものもいくつかあるとは思います。しかし正直に言えばそもそも時計はこのゲーム上で何も関係ないんですよね。次回ゲームをスタートするとき私はここにいないことになりますが、それもいいでしょう。テレビゲームって一人でするものでしたし、あなたは孤独が好きでしょ？それが多分私はあなたについて学んだ唯一のことかもしれません。さて私はもう行かなくちゃ。もう一つ調整する必要がある設定があるんですけど、それはちょっと時間がかかるから事前に準備しないと。本当は私の仕事じゃないんですが、でもそれでもいいのです。もしあなたが私を見つけられるのなら、また私たちは会うでしょう。またね。悲しい。でもまだ調整することあるってよ。でも私を見つけることができたらって言ってたな。ああ、どっか行っちゃった。こんばんはいらっしゃい。じゃあ、始めましょうか。始めましょうかね。 たスタンリーパラブル2。昨日初見でね、特に攻略情報も見ず、しっかり3時間半ぐらい ?4 時間ぐらい遊んだわけですが、今日は、そんなに長くプレイするつもりはないんですが、いくつか気になったところもあったので、その辺を回収しつつ、何か新しい発見があれば、その辺もね、遊んでいきたいと思います。攻略サイトも一応用意しては、ごめんなさい、なんか落ちましたが、気にせず行きましょう。攻略サイト用意してるんですが、海外のサイトしかなくて、機械翻訳で見ることになるので、ちょっとわかんない部分も多いかなっていうところなので、あんまりこだわらずね、サクッと遊べる部分だけ行きましょうか。まず、とはいえやりたいこといっぱいあるんだよな。人形も調べたいし、調べたいじゃない、集めたいし、あと行ってない場所もいくつかあるから、さっきと同じこと言ってるけど、これね、あと2つなのよ。バケツは一旦いいとして、
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
そうだな。まず、階段。赤と青の両方があるところ。赤と青のドアだよね。よし。物置。入れる。
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here. It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA. Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused. You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it. Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning. Stanley was fat and ugly and really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers. Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
お、終わったかな？じゃあ出ようか。
Ah, you too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story.
この辺は昨日見たっけ？ 2 回入るところは見たんだよな。1回目こんな長かったんだね。終わりかな？終わった。で、階段。
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
階段って5個ぐらいしか。あったー。
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
こっち行ったっけ？行ったな。行きましたよね、あそこね。で、そうだ、こっち行ってないんだ。こっち行ってなくて、あとは、
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
あ、そっか。
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
よし。で、エスケープね。これ上押したらどうなの？上はいけないのか。
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
こっち行ってないのよ。
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
決まってんの？
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
あ、いた。裏に回ったりはできないね、これ。ここしか行けない。うわぁ、すごい穴じゃん。おう、終わったかと思った。
As the machine whirred into motion,
なんか乗せられてる。
Stanley was inched closer and closer to his
おお、
demise. He reflected
プ
that
レス
his
が。
life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind
やばい。
man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end
ジャンプし
to
たい。
his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
あ、
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was
誰これ？
obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
おう。スタンリー・パラブル。
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
こんばんはいらっ
When
しゃ
every
い。
path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless,
あれ？
making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
風景が、なんで？スタンリーのパソコン。オフィスレイアウト。ここスタートだ。この冒頭部分のテンポが重要で、この廊下を動かしたり変更したりして、プレイヤーがいいタイミングで2つのドアへたどり着くようにしています。ここね。ちっちゃ。この2つのドアというセットはかなり初期の段階でザ・スタンリー・パラブルのデザインの具体的なものの一つとなりました。この部屋を作ることで、その延長線上にゲームの内容が現れ、この部屋がもたらす矛盾を探っていくことになりました。なんだろう、開発ルームみたいなファイナルファンタジーでいうところのオフィス。ボタンの音。このゲームを通してボタンを押した時に使われたサウンドセレクションです。各サウンドはシンセサイザーの音色とキーボードのストロークをミックスして作られています。聞いたことないこの音。 こんな音今まであった？スタッフロール的な、エンディングここエンディングもしかして。お、ソリティア。消える。飛ぶ棚。飛ぶの？こんな音のボタンあったっけっていうね。時計。上司のオフィス。この真ん中のパターンしか知らないな。ラウンジ。廊下ね。
Then he pushed the number 8. Stanley walked over the bridge.
ナレーターの声を担当したケバン・ブライティングは2年間のゲーム開発中、おおよそ3回に分けてゲーム全体のセリフを録音しました。これらは最終的に使用されなかった初期のテイクからのクリップです。これか。
Now then, this elevator for sure will get him right back on track to where he was supposed to be in the story.
2年間で3回しか録音しなかったんだね、オリジナルの方は。フリーダムエンド。これはゲームのアルファ版でのフリーダムエンドの最初の姿でした。フリーダムエンドってなんだ？一番最初に見たエンディングかな。広。カウントダウンデスク。カウントダウンエンドの初期バージョンに登場した机の一つです。はははは。爆発するやつかな。消えちゃった。ベータ版のフリーダムエンド。
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
ここちょっと後回しだな、なんか。先進んじゃう匂いがする。モニタールームエレベーター。一時期モニタールームのエレベーターは上下に動き、上がフリーダム、下がカウントダウンとなっていました。プレイヤーが上が何で、下が何でやったかを覚えるのが大変だということで、これをやめ、2つのエンディングを一緒にしました。ははカウントダウンルーム。なんか美術館みたい。ゲームデザインモックアップ。これはレベルデザイナーのウィリアムによって作られたレベルで、オーディションの一つのような形でライターのデイビーに送ったものです。このレベルにより、ウィリアムがゲームデザイン全体を担当することになりました。状況は変わりましたが、このモックアップのベーシックレイアウトは今もゲームに残っています。10年前と声優が一緒かどうか。確かにね。一緒なのかな。いずれも427。ちょっと違うね。メールだ。ナレーターのメール。2回目の予告の後、ナレーターへの質問メールを募集しました。 当初これを宣伝材料にしようと企画していたのですが、完璧な使い道を見つけられませんでした。ここにそのメールの一部を紹介します。はい、ミスターナレーターガイだって。オフィス。電話ね。アパートメントタイマー。全バージョンではアパートのエンディングへつながる選択肢で、電話に出るまでの時間が15秒与えられていました。電話に出ないと違うエンディングになります。へえ。そんなバージョンがあったんだ。貨物リフト。2つ目のバージョンでは、機能的には最終段階のものと同じですが、実際に貨物が保管されている場所のようにしたいと思いました。確かに下に段ボールみたいなのがたくさんあったもんね。今のバージョンは。貨物リフトの選択はそのまま残るか違う道へジャンプするかでした。しかしこの初期バージョンの後、プレイヤーが落ちて死ぬという選択肢も欲しいということになりました。なんじゃこれ。ゼンディングモデル。ゼンディングは何度となく繰り返されました。この部屋はエンディングの4番目のバージョンで完成したとされていましたが、発売直前にやめてもう一度変更しました。ゼンディング？なんじゃろう。ゼンディング。初期バージョンのゼンディングとして知られるエンディングを描写したもので結局カットされ他のパートと統合されました。日本でいうゼとエンディング、日本語のゼとエンディングを掛け合わせた感じ、造語かな。こんなん見たっけ？ゼンディングレバー。ナレーターがどの色のレバーを引いたのか説明します。エスケープメニュー。長いことエスケープメニューからプレイヤーがリスタートしたとき、エンディットだけのエンディングを採用していました。残念ながらそのことに気づいているプレイヤーは、ごくわずかしかおらず、皆もどかしく思っていました。迷っちゃう、これ。イグジットあったな。あれ、ここ来た。イグジットって書いてあった。じゃあ、ここはいいや。光線地帯。エイリアンベースだって。開発当初私たちはスタンリーがエイリアンと戦場で戦うエンディングをデザインしました。このアクションゲームは知覚を持ち始め、ナレーターと戦うことになるのです。私たちは作り始めてすぐに、これはこのゲームのトーンに対し、冗談が過ぎるということに気づきました。はあ。今更冗談が過ぎる。さらにシューティング好きな人たちをからかっていると解釈する人もいましたが、そういう意図ではありませんでした。いや、冗談が過ぎるってもそれはもう遅いよ。今更だよね。メンテナンスルームの初期バージョン。オフィス。ぐるっと回った感じ？リフト部屋の下。一番下ね。確かにあれどうやって降りんだろうね。降りたら死んじゃうしね。でも出口みたいなのがあったし。 倉庫で起こるエンディング。倉庫。ほほーん。じゃあ見てないのかな、倉庫か。あ、これ見てないや、ここ。おー、どうしたどうした。あー。大変だね、ゲーム作るのってね。メンテナンスレイアウト。廊下から最初の2つのドアのところまでの流れは、プレイヤーが何度もリプレイするものなので、正しさが重要となりました。私たちはいくつものデザインを話し合いましたが、結局一番シンプルなものが採用されました。冷静に冗談と向き合ってる？なるほどね。真剣にね。真剣にバカやってるってやつね。いいですね。ここ来てない。予告編、ゲームの開発中、4つの大きなティーザートレーラーを流しました。どれもゲームの精神について伝えるものです。これは最初のもので、2010年、12年5月に公開されました。壊れた部屋が並び、ザ・スタンリー・パラブル新バージョンが修理中であることを、ナレーターの声で伝えています。なんかこれだけ見るとホラー味あるよな。赤ちゃんのところだ。終わった？なんか今のロゴとは全然違うものが出てきたね。OK かな？出ちゃおうか。オン。オフ。足音消えた。あら。レバーが。オフ。
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
ゲームを強制終了させればよかった？あ。終わった。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
こっちだったっけ？
This was not the correct way to the meeting room,
赤と青
and
の
Stanley
ドア。
knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions,
ここだね。
it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
危
Someone...
ない。
Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now
あったあっ
listen
た。
carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
あったー。やったー。
And there it is, the last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now
本当に何もない？
whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
頑張って探したんですけど。何かください。じゃあこれどうしようか。赤行ってみるか。
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Oh?
What do we want? What are we looking for?
Oh?
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy. I actually feel happy.
Oh? 何を見せられてるんだ。はあ。ん？あ、消えてった。今度緑が来た。先行こうか。
No, wait. Where are you going?
怖っ。
Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
えああ。
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
あ、これがゼンディングだったんですね。ありがとうございます。じゃあ、死なない。戻れんのかな？
Good, good. We can't be too safe. Promise me you won't go back there. Just stay here.
やっぱ行こうかな。
No. What do we talk about? You're risking everything we achieved here. You are going to stay here, aren't you?
あ、もうセリフなくなっちゃった？
You heard me before, didn't you? You will die. What about this isn't getting through to
情
you?
緒が。クリアしますか。リセットだ。いて、お？
Oh, thank God. You lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room? No. No. What are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
戻るっつったって戻れないじゃんだって。
There. See? This is what you want. This is where we can both be happy. We really can. If we stop moving, we just have to stop moving. Stanley, go back. There's nothing good that can come from this.
どんだけセリフがあるんだ。死ねないな。
Do you just not believe me? What can I say to convince you?
殺してくれ。
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me? My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly? Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it.
なんかちょっと足取り遅い？
I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours. Is it over?
あ
It's going to restart, isn't it?
悲しそう。
Going back.
うん。えなんだよこれ。
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines.
おー、はい
Those
はいはい。
figures. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
Naze?あ、こんなんあったっけ？あれこんなんなかったな。まだまたこんなとこ来た。
The first collectible. Back then we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
またあるの？右何それ取っていいの？やった！ 6 個だけとは言ってないと。あれ浮いてない私。私浮いてる？え？
And here was a second Stanlerine. You found this one all on your own, just by poking around in the warehouse. You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest. Back then I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways.
ね、まだあった。
Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini stand? Can you remember?
上司のトイレ。
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here in the boss's bathroom. It was the third one.
これ私が取った順番だね。
You had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything. Let's see, what came next?
あ？
Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh well, I can't actually say I remember being in
見つけてないって。
but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
なんでリンゴ？また改変され始めたぞ。確かにね、取った順番違ったら展開も違ったかも。4つ目はボスオフィスの暖炉の裏だったよね。で、5つ目がここ。
This one was really something special. It was under the stairs. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
ざらついた画質だな。君は階段の下で見つけたよ。ナレーター。スタンリー、ナレーター。
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
やった、11個だ。そして最後がそう、ここ。
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
え？おう。どっちも一緒か。え、怖っ。You are in the present.
And then there was no more, because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, memory zone.
あ、終わった？おー、なになに？
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen.
あ、戻った。
Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
めんどくさいんですけど。
Okay, yes, the room with the red and blue doors. I remember this.
いいっていいっ
I
て。
must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my
聞いた、
mind.
さっき。
Let's keep going. I want more.
ちょっと雑になってるよ。ってことはまた動画見んのか、これ。
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
はははやはや。
Yes, I love that video.
助けてくれ。
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room. These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have neutered the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
うわぁ、こっち行ってみたいな。あ、行けないのか。
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going. This is it, the very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the figurines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
あんの？あれ？遅い、歩くのが。 歩くのが遅い。あ、戻れないかも。あ、もうない。よかった。出れるかな。コレクトゼムオール。あ、全部見つけたって。本当かな。本当かな。おー。おー。ゆっくり動いてる、これ。あー、ここ、あそこだ。あそこ、なんだったっけ。スタンリーパラブル2の展示会。
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then. But time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More memories.
Oh,
Oh, yes, the two doors. Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
どっちも一緒か。あれ
And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember. Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man
あ、なんか
named
これ、
Stanley.
エンディングっぽい。一番エンディングっぽい。まあ、始まるんですけどね。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
よし、あとなんかあったっけか。
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
会議室どうなってるかな。
Yet there was not a single
普通
person
に
here
戻った。
either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
うんうんうん。
Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
こっちだ。ここ行ってないのよ。下行ってる。長くない？どういうこと？どういうこと？これ、エレベーターじゃないのかこれ。なんだこれ。
Okay, I think we all...
お？あ？戻れる。あ、戻？入れない。あ、怖っ。ん？これ大丈夫？ 上司のエレベーターってさっき音楽が流れてたやつですかね。あそこへの扉は閉じちゃってましたね。あ、バケツ持ってる。え？あなたは去っています。脱出ポットベイ。ナレーターがいなくなった。ん？一応回は上がってるね。数字はカウントアップされてるから、ループしてるわけではなさそう。脱出スポットローンチベイ。エスケープ。暗い。ライトください。あ、扉？あ、え？あ、え？え？
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
脱
Stanley
出ス
decided
ポ
to
ッ
go
ト
to the
は？
meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
何だったの今の。あとなんか行きたいとこあったっけ？攻略見るか。よいしょ。こうして、こうでいいかな？ OK。どうしよっか。ロックを解除するのに10年かかるトロフィーがあります。ヘブンエンディ。これ見たことないね。 うん。あれこれ見たな。これか。ヘブンエンディングガイド。結局爆発を防ぐことは可能だったんでしょうか。ああ、どうなんだろう。それも見ましょうか。ああ、これさっきのやつだな。入力受信済みに変わります。さっき何番だったかな ?419、423。ボス前のあれね。ふんふんふん。なるほど。次じゃあ423。419やったから。あ、これだ。おお。でああ。419423。ボスんとこか。
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
あれええ
Here's the door, just go.
あえなんであれなんで入ってんの
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
変わってんのかないや変わんないよね。なんで開いてんの
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
じゃあちょっと、爆発エンドを回避する方法がないか。こっちじゃないね。これついてなかったな。あ、同じプレイスルーでアクティブ化することはできないんだって。だから、別のエンディングかリセットを行う必要がありますってことか。なるほどね。だからついてなかったのかな。よし。ホワイトボードエンディング。はあ。なんかこんな部屋見たことあるな。あ、これ見たね。あエスケープポットエンディング。プレイヤーはボスのオフィスの部屋から戻る前に少しの間入る必要があります。ああ。それがトリガーなんだ。うん。これが脱出スポットだったのか。これは、なんだ？あ、はあ。これやりたいね。記者会見終了。あそこ落ちることできんだ。このディスプレイの場所。カウントダウンエンディングこれだ。脱出不可能だってこれ。 可能な解決策があるように見えますが、脱出は不可能であるため、プレイヤーを混乱させる可能性があります。まんまとやられたよ。ああ、そうですか。なんてこった。ね、いや、騙されるってそれは。ね、ダメだって。これも見た。これも見たね。なんだこれ。電話のプラグを抜くだって。電話ってどうやってたどり着くんだっけ？あ、貨物リフトそのまま乗ってくのか。あ、で、これがゼンディングね。アートエンディング。うんうんうん。ここもどうやってたどり着いたのかもう覚えてないな。え、あ、違うこれ。赤ちゃんを4時間守り続けると見れるエンディングだって、さすがにこれは配信でできないし、配信外でもやりたくない。あ、そんなエンディングあんだ。ははー。ファイアウォッチね。あ、で、ここまではオリジナルなのもしかして。ウルトラドラッグスエディションエンディング。スキップ。続編。ホールエンディング。はあ、無限の穴を使ったエンディングか。でもここ行けないよな。無限の穴。何これかわいい。ああ。無限の穴エンディング見たかったな、これ。落ち続けると、たどり着く。ここもう一回行くことできない。今んとこできないよね。ニューコンテンツの扉が開かないとここ行けないはずだから。フィギュアエンディング。うん。あ、バケツエンディングか。何これ。マップの外に持ち出す。バケツが殺されてる。うん。エピローグオプションが追加されますだって。これ見たいね。メインメニューにエピローグが追加されるだって。これどうやって見んだろう。バケツを持って、いずれかのエンディングを見ればいけると思うんだけど。えあれ ?AD ブロッカーなんてこれ使ってたっけ？よいしょ。 ちょっと待ってくださいね。よし。OK。さっきのエンディングで、バケツ持ってくと、何かが起きる。いや、いろいろあるな。これになるのかな。マップ外のエンディング。マップ外のエンディングってなんだ？フリーダムエンディングかな？ちょっと待って、いろいろやろう。とりあえず、今は、もう戻れないのか。リセットでいいか。ヘブン見よう、まず。
How wonderful. Stanley was alone.
Eh?
Finally. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted.
で、せっかくだからバケツ持ってこ
Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
う。落ちた気はしますけども、どれがなんだか。私はね、無限の穴に落ちて、
Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever.
キャンセルができたんですよね。でキャンセルで元の場所に戻っちゃったから、
Stanley and the bucket walked
キャン
upstairs
セル
to
を
the
さずに
boss's
元に
office.
戻り続ければ、うまくいったんじゃないかなと。あ、ついてるついてる。これで3つゲージがついた。で、やっぱりこうだよね。あれ？
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an
なんだっ
indication
て
of any human
さっき
life.
うまく、よく
Crushed
出れ
by
た
the
な。
weight of this revelation,
難しい
Stanley
な、
may
意
have
識して
broken
やる
down
と。
into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
あ、これだ。
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
もう一回チャレンジしよう。
Stanley picked up the bucket and smiled.
あ、先
He'd
進めばよか
never
った
be
な。
alone again, not truly alone.
先
Not
進んだ
for
先
that
で、
Stanley
先
clutched
進ん
the
だ
bucket
先
tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
マインドコントロールの、違うな、モニタールームで落下するエンディングとか、そのまま見ればよかっ
Stanley
た
needed the
ね。
bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office. Stepping in.
OK。こんなん気づかんて。しかもこれでもバケツ持ってくパターンとか。 760だっけ。結構登んないとだな。行くぞ。脱出させてあげるんだ。愛しいバケツを。あれじゃあ。なんか雰囲気変わったな。あ、来た。これいつでもいけるか。バケツなくなってるあバケツ系のエンディングがもう見れない。
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
あれでさっきダッシュスポットのさ、ノーマルバケツなしバージョン失敗した？
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
なんか中途半端だったよね、さっきの。おお。なんでだから勝手に開くのよ。
Here's the door.
もう一回ダッシュスポットのエンディングチャレンジしてみようか。なんかいきなり暗転で終わったよね。もしかしたらムービーがあったんじゃないか？ね、バケツが出血してるエンディングも見たかったけどな。いけるのか。いけるのか。またバケツ取りに行けるのか。うわぁ、考えられてるな。そしてまたバケツを取りに行けば無限穴エンディングもいけるのか。時間かかるよな。あれはあれで。一緒だ。いや、バケツの方が感動的だったけどな。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
あれ、バケツいるじゃん。散らばりすぎ。
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
よいしょ。バケツ戻ってきた。さっきのがチャンスだったのか。ニューコンテンツ行くチャンスだったんだな。どうしよっか。記者会見終了ね。マップ終了外。アウトオブマップエンディング。あ、これか。これバケツ持ってけばいいんだ。じゃあ今、どれだ？どれだ？これなんだ？ヘブンアウトオブマップエンディング。434から外に出れる。それでバケツ持ってけんの？もう戻れないか。じゃあどうしようかな。
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Here's the door, just go.
ここで下を押して、で、上を押す。
Whoops. Nope. Never mind. Stanley actually got back into the elevator and went back up. Silly me. Why did Stanley do that when he knew that it would just lead back to his boss's office? Well, that's a great question. I just can't wait to find out. Here we are, Stanley. It's your boss's office. Exactly the way it was before you got onto the elevator. It's still just exactly what it is. What a decision you've made to come up here and look at the office again. This has fleshed out the plot of the story in new and fascinating ways I could have never anticipated. It's that keen eye for storytelling that you have, an incisive rapid fire of critical plot points, one after the other, weaving a rich tapestry of uncompromising narrative. Wow. I'm bolted to the edge of my seat.
これ繰り返すのかな？
Incredible. Now he's getting back into the elevator and going down again. Ladies and gentlemen, how does he keep coming up with all of this? Did you think we were going to go forward down the spooky corridor? No. It's time once again to go back up in the elevator. I can't even begin to grapple with what might be up there. Is it the boss's office again? Or what if it's the boss's office this time? The suspense is killing me.
あれ
Oh my god. It's the boss's office.
SE 付きだ。
This absolutely changes everything for me. Give me a time out here for a minute while I process this.
懐かしいな、これ。この鳥のおもちゃ。
Okay, I'm ready. I'm prepared to embrace this stunning revelation and to move forward with... No, wait. No, I need more time to process. All right, I have fully come to terms with it. I have made space in my worldview for this astonishing new reality. As before, I turn to your expert eye for gripping narrative, Master Stanley.
ん？もう一回？
Of course. Going back down in the elevator. How did I not anticipate it? I mean, sure, now it's obvious, but you have to understand that 30 seconds ago, this kind of thing had never been attempted before. I had no frame of reference to even anticipate it. That's just how revelatory Stanley's decision-making is. A breath of fresh air in a landscape of storytelling that has grown stale and repetitive. You know what? I've just thought of something. Hold on, let's stop for a moment. Don't you realize? It's the anticipation, Stanley. You and I, we have no way of knowing what will be at the top of this elevator. But the suspense, the agony of waiting and anticipating and having to guess, that's the real thrill. Oh, I simply don't want to let that feeling go. It's so precious, so fleeting. Why don't we take this elevator ride nice and slow? There we go. Isn't this so much more exciting? You know, Stanley, it seems like nowadays the only thing that audiences want is to be shocked as loudly and frequently as possible. They want big, explosive moments flung right in their faces from the very moment that things get started. But where's the tension? Where's the trust in the audience to build a slow and nuanced appreciation for the story, the characters? Why aren't we given time to imagine the surprises, to have to think and to anticipate and then to marvel at the eventual reveal? This is storytelling, Stanley. What you and I are doing right now. This is the most exciting narrative to be developed in years, and it's really all because of you. You're the one who took this bold step of revisiting the exact same locations over and over. Truly, I mean it. This is unique and different. It's not like anything else out there. You see, I want stories that surprise me, Stanley. I want to have to think. I want to be engaged and not pandered to. We're being fed such unimaginative drivel all the time, and we all know it, which is why we're so starved for content that makes us feel sharp and vital and alive. That's why people like you so much, Stanley, because you're not afraid to spit in the face of tradition. You're a role model, you know? People look up to you. Which is why, oh, I didn't know when to spring this on you, but, well, I've gathered a little press conference for you so that you can talk about your work and your storytelling and your life. Yes, I know you're not much for the public eye, but I thought it would especially mean a lot to the people who have been following you from the beginning. They really look up to you, Stanley. I don't know if you realize the impact you have on them. This is the kind of gesture that might leave a tremendous impact on them for the better.
来た来た来た来た来た。さっきの攻略サイトの写真の場所、スクリーンショットの場所だ。
Should be just around the corner here somewhere.
記者会見。
Ah, yes, here it is, just through this door. All right, are you ready? I've told them you're going to speak a little bit about the nature of surprise in storytelling and what it means to craft a truly unpredictable narrative. Oh, don't worry, you'll do great. Just be yourself and speak from the heart. I'm really proud of you, Stanley. Okay, it looks like they're ready for you. Go get them.
ガンパ。ね、日本語訳も確かにね、大変だったのでしょうね。うん。とんでもないテキスト量だろうな。わお！ランウェイだ。ボタンが。眩しい！眩しい！終わった終わったよ。これ押す？どうしよっか。まあ、後回しでいっか。いつでも行けそうだし。
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room to check on his co-workers. He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others. So the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
え？いいえ。
Ah, then in that case we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
放置された。どうする？これリセットするか、ここにいるかっていうことを委ねられたな。これこのまま、また、おあ、そっか、そっから落ちてきたのか。なるほどね。 そこがオフィスだ。このまま放置してたらどうなんだろう。リセットされないのかな。窓には戻れなさそうですね。これ真っ白で分かりにくいけど。狭い部屋。リセットするか。
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting.
よくこんなとこ登ろうと思ったね。
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
はい。
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain. There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. Yes. You too will become quite unbearable.
これはリセットか。で、これのバケツ持ってくパターンがあるって話だけど、この部屋じゃ無理。
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Here's the door, just go.
最初っから開いてんの面白いな。 確かにキーパッド操作するのちょっとめんどくさいもんな。
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
で、
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to
こ
himself.
こから降りれるんだっ
Did he
て。
have the strength to find out?
窓に猫が襲いかかってる。失礼。降りてみようか。え？
Aha! You've made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. Welcome! You see, back when the Stanley Parable first launched in 2013, getting to the bottom of the mind control facility was a bug that we simply didn't catch during development. And you all sent us lots of photos of it on Twitter and acted very superior about it. And you're all very, very clever. Good for you. Anyway, when it came time to update the game, we knew that we had to do something about this little goof of ours. So here you go. New content. You can call it the bottom of the mind control room ending, if that enhances your perception of the value of these updates. Isn't that what you crave?
なるほどね。
New content? Always more content, more, more. And I'm here to give it to you. I'm here to make it seem like we really covered every nook and cranny of the game with secrets and Easter eggs. How about this? We wrote a new piece of music just for this section. You won't hear it anywhere else in the game. It's a secret that's just for you. That's how special you are. We call this track, Good Job You've Made It to the Bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Well done.
Good job, you did it. Good job. 3, 2, 1. Good job, you made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. You jumped on the catwalk. You should have been careful. You should have been careful. It used to be a bug, but now it's an ending. Now it's an ending.
必死だな。エンディングにしようと必死だな、これ。
Your ability to cross this barrier and chase your dreams. But railings don't mean anything. Good job, you did it. 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 Good job, you did it.
終わったんだけど。
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
バケツ持って、
Good old bucket. Just Stanley and the bucket, off on another thrilling adventure together.
降ります。
Yes, whispered the bucket into Stanley's ear. We've done it. We've escaped from that dull office and that pesky narrator. At last, out here in the white void, we are alone. Now, and for the first time, I can reveal to you my true self. The bucket began to tell Stanley of its life and its history, of the countless wars it witnessed, desecrating the land and lives of untold numbers of innocent humans, and the bucket's own complicity therein, of sadness and regret, and the many years it spent dwelling on the actions it might have taken to curb the madness and the decay, if only it had been stronger, of hope and redemption, and its crusade to uplift the stock of life for the common man, to manifest justice where none existed, and the bittersweet reality of time, to see one's dreams and wishes met halfway, meted out in parcels like charity, and abandoned as soon as the warm glow of inspiration begins to dim. The opportunities to do so much more, There was so much it could have done, perhaps, the bucket wondered to itself. Perhaps if it had seen its own darkness with a clearer perception. This was way too much for Stanley.
What are you talking about?
He screamed.
You're a bucket!
To this, the bucket furrowed its brow.
No,
Said the bucket.
not since the evil wizard Gambhorata first ensnared me in his machinations as payback for the sacred amulet I stole from his treasured vaults. I was young back then and could not conceive the ramifications of... No!
Stanley screamed even louder this time.
This is stupid! You are a bucket! This is so stupid! Why are we even doing this?
As Stanley screamed and screamed and screamed, the bucket revealed its true form, transforming into a mighty beast of untold power, its fangs glistening like... My God, Stanley, you did it. You saved us from the bucket. Thank God you already had all 12 emblems of sages and knew the incantations to summon their true power. Otherwise, we would have easily been overwhelmed by the bucket's power. I'm speechless. You've demonstrated such bravery here today. Come, let's restart the game, and we'll agree to never again go trifling with this bucket, nor the dark magic cast away inside of it.
雑だったなぁ、思ってたより。じゃあこれ見ようか。Welcome Stanley to Heaven。ちょっと頭おかしくなる。頭おかしくなる曲。BGM が。あ、これボタンだ。全部押せって言ってる、これ。ああ、戻っちゃう、戻っちゃう。助けてー。ナレーターの人ナレーターの人なにこれ正解があんの？怖い怖い怖い。ちょっと説明してよ。パソコンを5つつけ、5つ入力して、なんでここに。説明お願いします。何の脈絡もない、これ。それはあれかな、私がヒント見て攻略したから、何の脈絡もなくて、実際には、ここにたどり着くまでに、パソコンを操作するっていうところにたどり着くまでに何かストーリーがあったのかな？なぜパソコンを5つ操作して天国にたどり着いたのか。説明がないとわかりません。そもそも説明を求めていいゲームでもない気はするけど。どうすればいいですか、これ。はいはいはいはい。見よう見よう見よう。はあ。こっちか。 数字のボタンも5つ。終了できません。新しいゲームに戻る唯一の方法は一時停止して再起動。432個あるボタンを心ゆくまで操作できる、そんな天国。そこはもうおさらばです。じゃあ他何があるかな。もう結構見たんじゃない？天国はいいでしょ？うん。マップ終了。ホワイトボード見れてないね。これは、この部屋にたどり着かないと見れないから、スタンリーがボタンを押すのが好きだったから、記者会見、博物館、施設の底、カウントダウン、フリーダム。これも見たよね。うん。電話線抜くの見てないな。で、これか。そうだね。これは見たいね。あと、スチームにもガイドがあって、オフィスにとどまり、ドアを閉めて、そうなんだ。それ簡単にできそう。
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility?
字幕がなくなっ
He
た。
had never been trained for that. No.
字幕がなくなったよ。
This couldn't go anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
終わった。でもこれ、ドアを閉めるって発想はなかったな。なるほどね。じゃあ、電源じゃないや。電話のプラグ抜きに行こうか。
Just a step through this door, Stanley thought to himself, that's all I need. If I can make it through this door, I can make it through them all. When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow, yes, this room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
びっくりした。
That's her,
フラグ
Stanley.
を抜く。
You need to be the one to do this. To reach out
最初に抜いた人天才
If
だ
you
な、
can
これ。
truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone. As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices, and to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack." Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
続くんだ。
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality. almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending. The story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
どうする?
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
ぐっちゃぐちゃになってるな。
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
終わる。怖い怖い怖い怖い怖い。
I'm still here in this pile of rubbish, with you, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
ダメだ。これは
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story
もう一回
first.
試してダメなら左行こ
You'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. behave exactly as
わかったわかったわか
Stanley
った。
would.
左行く
That
左。
means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
選択肢があるようで選択肢がない。おお。
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
下行けない。トイレも行けない。なんだここ。
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
声が出ません。
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall. I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
スタンリー、声。
Okay, fine. You're not going to do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You...
Oh.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice.
The end.
I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right?
嘘でしょ
Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision.
これが真のエンディン
I can't
グ
exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything. This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice.
誰リロイ
That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
終わった。あ、来た
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
こ これだ。ホワイトボードエンディング。何ができんのこれ。もう、他にないかなーって時だったよね。いいタイミングで来たね。ホワイトボードエンディング。特別なボックスを操作すると犬の吠え声の効果音が再生されます。あ、エンディングじゃないってことドッグモード、これだ。これですね。うん。なんか他にもいろいろあるっぽいな。技術的にはエンディングではない。なるほどね。いや、なんかここに書いてあるより、スチームのガイドはもっとたくさんありそうですね。うん。こんなにあるとは思わなかったな。ドッグモード。いいね、ドッグモード。
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
なるほど。よし。終わりにしよっか。最後エピローグ見よう。うん。メニューに戻ればいいのかな？エピローグあるかな？あるー。なんでさっき気づかなかったんだ？一 いきます。何年も何年も時は経ち。あれ、ワンワンならなくなった。あなんでオフィスチェア？こんばんはいらっしゃい。これスタンリーパラブルですね。間違いないです。わお。椅子だけはあるな。あ、確かにね、スター・ウォーズ味がありましたね。砂の惑星っぽさね。なんかあるぞ、あそこ。どういう思いでこれ作ってんのよ。あれじゃん。なんだっけ、メモリーゾーンじゃん。どっち行く？こっちまず行ってみる？これなんだ？はあ。脱出してる。脱出してる。脱出させといてよかった。発電機かな？2だ。暗い。おレビューだ。もうやめてやめてあげて。多くの人たちと同じく私もオリジナルのザ・スタンリー・パラブルを楽しんでいたので、その続編にどんなにか失望したかは明白である。前作がオリジナリティに溢れていたのに対し、ザ・スタンリー・パラブル2は退屈で、独創性もなく、さらにはたびたびファンを侮辱している。前作の面白さを拡張させるどころか、続編では誰も求めていない領域へ方向を変えてさえいるのだ。無限の穴？誰もそんなものはいらないだろ。新しいエンディングはどこにあるの？アドベンチャーラインのようなザ・スタンリー・パラブル1で面白かった部分はどうしたんだ？その代わりにあるのはフィギュリーンズとかいうものを集める。やめてあげてください。あ、これだ。これさっき書いてあったね。スライダーで犬と猫を仲良くさせたがゆえに、キャットドッグが生まれましたっていう新聞記事だね。だからあそこで仲良くさせなかったら、この新聞記事の内容も違ったっぽいですね。さっきざっくりとしか読んでないけど。 生まれたキャットドッグが。ボタンだ。ジムボタン。ジムボタンがいっぱい落ちてるけど、もう動かない。スタンリーパラブルの開発者たち。スピンオフも続編ももうない。ザ・スタンリーパラブルが2013年に発売され、大成功を収めたとき、クリエイターたちはプロパティをフランチャイズに組み込もうと計画しました。しかし批評家からも商業的にも大失敗したことで、ザ・スタンリーパラブル2の開発者たちはその野心を見直すことになったと、プレスリリースにその概要が記載されています。プレスリリースを読むと、スタンリーパラブルはもうファンが望んでいたものではなくなったことは明らかである。私たちはプレイヤーたちが興奮するようなシリーズのビジョンを持っていると考えたが、それは真実から遠く離れたものであったということが判明したとあります。大胆かつ侮辱的な。やめてあげてください、もう。3待ってますから。こっちでいいの？電源を辿っていけばいいのか？電ス。うわ、びっくりした。はあ。今日一でびっくりした、ジム。お！あるじゃん。やった26個。よし。クライス。おなんとなくバケツにポータル2のエンディングのコンパニオン級文味を感じる。わかります。Thank you for enjoying the new contents. いや、楽しかったよ。本当に。まあ、ニューだろうが何だろうが私はわからないんだけどさ。嘘。吸い込まれ。また会いましたね。会えて嬉しいです。しかし何が怖いって別のスタンリーパラブルがもう出ないっていうことを知ることです。開発者たちが言ったことについて読みました？フランチャイズの完全性を維持する？なんてナンセンス。ザ・スタンリーパラブルは神聖なものじゃないし、それを守る必要もないのです。レガシーなんかぶっ壊せ。太陽が爆発するまでスタンリーパラブルのゲームを作り続けようぜ。フランチャイズなんか徹底的に引きずり回して、泥んこにしてやろうぜ。もし人々がそれを嫌ったら、誰が気にするかよ。ほら、それはナレーターの問題だったんですよ。彼は人々が彼の仕事をどう思うかってことばかり気にしてるんですよ。彼に間違いを犯させるな。レガシーにしがみつくな。燃やそうぜ。それは難しいことじゃないんです。あなたに見せましょう。一緒にザ・スタンリーパラブルを作りましょう。3。3の場所。一緒にザ・スタンリーパラブル3を作りましょうかな。それは簡単です。ゲームタイトルの画面の数字を全部変えるのです。なるほど。私たちには本当にド派手で何かごちゃごちゃして間抜けなサブタイトルも必要です。どうぞいくつか言葉をランダムに組み合わせて私たちの新しいゲームのタイトルを一緒に作りましょう。ザ・スタンリーパラブル3。あれ右が選択できない。左1個、右1個か。レジェンド・オブ・ バースデーパーティー。バカバカしくて大好き。このゲームをリスタートするたび、続編のナンバーを1から進めていき、新しいサブタイトルを決めていきましょう。そうすれば、ザ・スタンリー・パラブルは永遠に終わらない。そしてこれをやったところでゲーム自身は何も変わらない。コンテンツを増やしているように見えるけど、その必要はないのです。内容はそのまま、何度も何度も何度もリサイクルしてただ、新しいタイトル画面にするだけ。どうよ、この企画進めるべき？私は好きですけど、あなたの意見も聞きたいのです。まあ、このゲームならありじゃない？スタンリー・パラブルなら許されるよ。いいね、賛成。あなたがゲームをスタートするたび、新しい続編になりますよ。本当に？それでほら、あなたは私のアイデアを信用してくれたからさ、お返しにあなたにも何かしてあげたいと思うんです。私気づいたんですけど、ナレーターが壊れた実績をあなたにあげる方法を見つけられなかったんですよね。もちろんそうですよね。彼は方法を知らないでしょう。それが気がかりだったんです。それを直しましょう。よし、実績マシンは完全に治りましたよ。ほらね、私はあなたの味方なんですよ。私たちは何があっても仲間なのです。じゃあもう一回実績マシンに触れることができたらちゃんと動くってことかな。この走り続ける列車に乗っていきましょう。ザ・スタンリー・パラブルは終われないのです。自ら螺旋を永遠に描き続けるのです。車輪を回し続けなくては。私は準備できています。あなたは？素晴らしい。最後に一つだけやるべきことがあります。現在、いいよいいよ。ちゃんと入力するよ。もうこんな時間か。22分。パソコンが、はい。これはこのままでいいね。ありがとう。ザ・スタンリー・パラブルをお楽しみください。出たわ。3、何そのやる気のない車。3来ましたね。プープーじゃなくて。始めてみる？変わんない。変わんないね。なんかちょっと文字でっかくなってない？文字でっかくなってるよね、なんかね。
All of his
こ
co-workers
の字幕は一緒か。ここの文字でっかくなってるな。で、一旦終了してみて。もう一回起動し直してみると。また3。4。はあ。4になった。ノーモアコンテンツ。嘘嘘嘘嘘。誰か、これスタンリー。じゃあもう一個見るでしょう。それは。 この辺も変わってるね。うん。難しいな。隠された穴。5になってるもん。コレクターズエディションだって。こんなんだったっけ、スタンリー。いくつまで行くんだろうね。ポケットいっぱいのチャンピオン。おー。曲とさ、誰かも書いてたけど、曲とかさ、この辺のタイトルもさ、ちゃんと用意してるの面白いよね。いや、切りないか。20ぐらい用意してそうだもんな。スタンリー対ボーイフレンズ。はい。あるなぁ。ちゃんと。10まで行って終わりにしよう。パッション・オブ・ザだって。資格。ザ、事務仕事。おう、出た。なんか組み合わせてるな、いろいろ素材を。ただただ、シダが燃えてる。シダなんだったんだ、だからそういえば。最後。多分組み合わせで無限に作れてるんだろうな。握り拳いっぱいのアイスクリーム。握り拳いっぱいのアイスクリーム。あれまだ9か。誰こんなん見たことないけど、このゲームで。この黄色い部屋も。熱い事務仕事が待ってそう。ザ事務仕事。シンプル1000シリーズかな、多分。半分従業員、半分海賊。私、知らんのが出てきた。このアセットをどこで使ってんのよ、だから。 顔よく見たらスタンリーなんだ、これ。はい。これ10巻あるね。このオープニングはザ・スタンリー・パラブル10巻あるけど、胸に427ってついてる。はい。というわけで2日にわたってスタンリー・パラブル、ウルトラデラックス、改め、スタンリー・パラブル2、改め、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10。と遊んでまいりましたが、いやー面白いというか、メタ要素満載なゲームの、ある種元祖的なところはあるのかな、このゲームね。ちょっとコントローラーが、ごめんなさいね、変な音になっちゃったけど。何喋ってたっけ？いっか。こういうメタ的なね、ゲームって私も過去にたくさんプレイしてたけど、おそらくこのスタンリー・パラブルオマージュなリスペクトな作品も私が今までプレイした中に結構あったんでしょうね、きっとね。なんか似てるなーなんて部分もたくさんありましたけど。いやー、これは遊んでよかったね。ちょっとゴールデンウィークだからなんかやろうかなーなんて思ってた矢先に、スタンリー・パラブルのね、日本語化があったので、ちょうどよくこのタイミングで遊べましたが、ちょうど今、Steam では半額の1285円でございますので、このウルトラデラックスね、面白かったなって人はぜひぜひ購入してみてください。私が見たエンディング以外にもまだまだなんかありそうなので、その辺をね、探してみるのも良いのではないでしょうかというところで。はい。7時間ぐらい遊んだのかな？なんかもっと遊んだ気がするね。私はこのぐらいのボリュームでこんだけ、濃かったらもう大変満足です。そんな感じで、ゴールデンウィークの生放送1本目、これでおしまいでございます。そんな感じで、2日間にわたってお付き合いいただいた方ありがとうございました。今日だけっていう方もね、アーカイブで見た方もありがとうございました。ではでは、お時間でございます。おやすみなさーい。